Okay, so I'm obviously going to do a video on this very strange handbag reference in the ancient world, and believe it or not, it's in the Bible. Okay, a lot of conspiracy theorists and people are into like weird history bring up this handbag, and it's in the Bible though. And we're going to talk about it. It is a weird concept, and I'm going to talk about the theories, and I'm going to actually use all the theories because all of them are in the Bible and they're all useful. Okay. Alright, and I'm going to combine different religions together because that's why God tells you to get information from the other nations, okay? Because this information is all in the Bible and it's all useful to God, alright? So, what is up with these handbags? First of all, these handbags are referred to not just as handbags, but they're referred to as baskets, or pots, or nests, okay? And how I'm going to do this is because I have a lot to talk about. As I'm going to go all the way back to Noah's Ark. Alright? Because there's a concept that these baskets travel. It's a traveling basket. Okay? And you collect things in this basket. Alright? But first we got to talk about the very first traveling basket. Okay? Noah's Ark was made of gopher. Okay? And gopher means this blattis. It means this. Okay? That's what gopher means. Okay? But you can also view this as a basket or as a nest, right? Or as a bag, all right? Because all these concepts are spread out through the ancient world and in the Bible, okay? All right? So this is gopher. Now but it was traveling. So this is Noah's Ark was a traveling basket or a traveling bag, okay? That you collected things in. You put things in it, okay? Just like a nest. You put eggs in a nest. It's all going to be in the Bible. I'll show you, okay? But you collect things in it. That's what baskets and nests and webs are for. You can also view this as a web, right? It's something that collects things and it travels because you carry it, right? Okay? Okay, and this concept kept going because there was Noah's Ark that was made, which represented this traveling basket. Okay, and then there was the Ark of the Covenant, alright? And guess what the Ark of the Covenant has? It has that gopher on it. Okay, God uses the Ark of the Covenant for a box. He also uses the Ark of the Covenant to explain the traveling baskets or the traveling nest. Okay, and you collect things in it. There's hidden stuff inside. What is this traveling basket and what is the hidden stuff inside? Okay. So in your life, okay, this is the reason why these gods and stuff or these people are carrying baskets. You need this basket to travel. It's a magical traveling basket, okay? And in your whole life, this basket or this chest represents your heart, kind of, okay? And you go through your life and you collect things, okay? You collect things and you give things away. You collect wisdom, because there's a big, huge concept about you collecting wisdom in this basket, okay? And it represents your life's work. What did you value in your life? That's what this basket means, because this basket represents your heart and your chest, okay? Because that's why in the Ark of the Covenant, it was in the chest, it was in the heart of Israel, right? It's what you hold dear in your heart, okay? What's in your heart, and through your life you collect things that you think are important, okay? It's lots of symbolism, okay? There's things you're collecting, okay? And this traveling basket is in so many different cultures, okay? First of all, the Oracle of Delphi had this weird traveling basket, and that's where she was getting her knowledge from, okay? She was getting knowledge from this basket, okay? That's where she said Apollo was getting knowledge from. She was getting her information from this basket. And it was a traveling basket because this... How do I say this? This basket represents the other dimensions. It's like information you're getting from other dimensions, okay? And there's always a good version and a bad version, okay? So she was getting information from this weird pot or basket, okay? And this basket was able to reach into the other side, okay? Alright, so, and even to this, there's a lot of medium or psychic stuff going on here with Oracle Delphi. Okay, there's lots of revelation in this basket stuff, okay? So, that's what oracles and mediums, that's why they're called mediums, okay? Because they claim to be getting information from another dimension. It's exactly what this is talking about. They get information from another world, okay, or an in-between world, okay. They're getting information from the spirit world, but they're not necessarily always saying that, okay. And they're reaching into this other dimension and getting information. Even to this day, psychics will say the same thing. Okay, so this basket can represent that, for sure. I'm trying to explain every concept because they're all in the Bible and they're all useful, okay, about this basket, okay. And that's in the Bible, it's right here, okay. There were 2 women coming with the wind in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the basket between heaven and earth. Okay, this is that weird traveling basket. It's about the dimensions, okay? It gets kind of complicated. Again, why are they reaching into the dimensions? Why are they reaching into this basket? It's about getting wisdom from the other side, okay? And it's about traveling to the other side to get wisdom, okay? Sometimes you travel in the basket. Sometimes you get wisdom from the basket, okay? That's why there's a lot of and that is a concept in multiple religions, okay? Okay, that's why the Oracle of Delphi had a basket next to her. That's where she was getting her wisdom from. Even in New Zealand, their gods have a basket of wisdom. It's very all similar, okay? That's why these gods are usually next to a basket, or there's a basket near them, because they are supposedly giving you knowledge from the other side. It's a dimensional knowledge, okay? But God uses, there's a good version and a bad version. You can get knowledge from the other side, aka hell, and from demons and from evil people, okay? That's why God says he's going to save you from this basket. Let's read that Bible passage. He removed his shoulders from the burden. His hands were freed from the baskets. You called in trouble and I delivered you. I answered you in the secret place of thunder. Wow, okay, there's lots of things going on. It's talking about this basket, obviously. Okay, so what's going on? So this is talking about being freed from the baskets. You're being freed from delivered into hell. Okay, because you travel to hell in this basket. You can, anyway. Okay? And God is going to free you from that journey. Okay, you can... Because everyone on their life right now, they're on a fool's journey. They're on their way to hell. Okay? God freed you from that path. Okay? He freed you from your journey to hell. Okay, and also God freed you from the bad wisdom that you're collecting, that people are collecting. Okay, it's multiple messaging going on here. So I'm going to reiterate the concept, and we're going to keep going though in a minute. Okay, so you're traveling through life and you're collecting things. You're collecting things that are valuable to you. Okay, you're collecting knowledge, wisdom, valuable things in your life, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to do with it at the end. Okay, but you're collecting things. And if you aren't getting wisdom from God, you're collecting very bad things that don't mean anything. And there's Bible passages that support that theory, and I'm going to read them to you now. You have sown much and harvested little. You eat, but you never have enough. You drink, but you never have your fill. You clothe yourselves, but no one is warm. And he who earns wages does so to put them in a bag with holes. You think the meaning of life is to collect money and all this stuff. It's not going to comfort you at the final day of judgment, okay? You think the meaning of life is to watch football or to collect money, and you wonder why you're always empty, okay? It's because you don't have God filling your bag, okay? You don't have wisdom from God, all right? Okay, so this is an example of a bad bag, a bad traveling basket. Okay. And it's very important that you realize you are not only collecting bad knowledge from the other side, you're giving it to everyone else. Okay, and you're hurting everyone else. And it creates a net. Everyone's being hauled off now because of everyone's bad information. And that's what these Bible passages are about. And you might wonder what this collection of wisdom looks like. Sometimes it's depicted of collecting eggs, or collecting magic stones, or collecting fruit or bread, okay? It's about getting nourishment from above, like manna from heaven, okay? It's depicted in many different ways. Stones, fruit, eggs, okay? They hatch cockatrice eggs, which is dragons or snakes, okay? And weave the spider's web. He that eateth of their eggs dieth, and that which is crushed breaketh out unto a viper. Okay, this is obviously a bad version. Again, this is not a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Kaaba stone looks like an egg. Okay, and because God uses play on images. This is a collection of bad information because that's where they say in Islam where they get their information from. They say that Allah is communicating with them through this magic stone, and it looks like an egg. It looks like a black egg. No, it's not a coincidence. Just like the Oracle of Delphi's weird basket also looks like an egg, right? It's a dragon egg. It's bad information. It's a rotten egg. And again, I'm doing a good version and a bad version because there's a good version too, which I will get to right now. You can collect information from the other nations and use it for good, but not like this. Not what the rest of the world is doing. Okay. This one's actually really important and also very obvious as to what I've already been saying. My hand reached as into a nest to seize the wealth of the nations. Like one gathering abandoned eggs, I gathered all the earth. No wing fluttered, no beak opened for chirped. So again, this is that traveling basket or nest, okay, or box, and you travel with it and you collect wisdom from everywhere, okay? You collect things. You learn things on your journey. And there's a good version and a bad version, okay? That like a partridge that hatches eggs it did not lay is the man who gains riches by unjust means. When his life is half gone, they will desert him, and in the end, he will prove to be a fool. This is that fool's journey. You collecting stuff in your life that just leads you down and everyone else down too, okay? Okay, you can collect bad information from everywhere, or you can collect and give it to back to the devil and spread evil, or you can collect good things from everywhere and give it back to God and save people that way, okay? This basket is to collect wisdom, but it's to collect people. Okay, because you're supposed to gather up people and bring them to the foot of the cross. Alright, get it? Alright, you can collect bad things and you can lead them to somewhere else. Alright? Or you can collect good things and lead them to God. Alright? And that's very interesting because that's exactly what happened to the Ark of the Covenant. Just like I've said, these gods are right next to baskets. Okay? And that is the story of the Bible. God uses all these concepts. For example, the Ark of the Covenant was on a journey. They took this traveling basket and they learned and collected things, right? And they gave it back to everyone else. And where did that basket supposedly end up at? It supposedly the Ark of the Covenant ended up at the foot of the cross, right? It was buried. That's the main theory anyway. The Ark of the Covenant was buried under the foot of the cross. Because just like I said, those gods are right next to baskets. First of all, God was already next to the basket with the Ark of the Covenant. Okay? But then Jesus was next to the basket because he is God. Okay? And the whole point is you get wisdom from Christ and his teachings as well. Okay? You can do that. That's the good version to all this. But it gets even better. Because I'm going to use wisdom from another culture and just prove it's in the Bible anyway. Okay? So, in the Egyptian religion, they have this traveling basket. Okay, but it's used as a weight. Even the conspiracy theorists think this basket just represents a weight because it looks like something you put on a scale. That's all true. God uses all of it. It's all in the Bible anyway. Anyway, in the Egyptian religion, okay, you put this basket on a scale, and it's called the measuring of the heart, which I already talked about. Okay, this at the end of your life, before you die, you're going to get judged. That's true. That's in the Egyptian religion. Okay, but the guy judging you is going to be God and Jesus. It's not going to be Horus or whoever. Okay, and according to their story, the God is going to open up your chest and see what's in your heart, and he's going to weigh it. And if you don't measure up, you get thrown into the mouth of the beast. Okay, which is obviously hell talk. If God, he's going to review your life. He's going to review what you did with your life. And if you don't measure up, if you don't equal what he thinks is correct, you're going to be thrown into the belly of the beast, okay? And that's exactly what it is going to happen, okay? But it's not going to be Horus or nothing. The symbol of the cross, God uses the symbol of this cross and this basket to explain a bunch of things. The symbol of the cross can be a metaphor for the scale, because the cross can be used as a scale, okay? And God is going to judge you. Okay? He's going to measure your heart. He's going to see what you valued in your life. He's going to look into your heart. He's going to open your chest and see what you've collected. And not only that's why God says he's going to judge Christians too. Have you been saving other people? Have you been bringing people onto this basket? Have you been collecting people and collecting wisdom and giving out wisdom? Or have you been lazy and just keeping it to yourself? Okay? You're supposed to create a path of wisdom to the foot of the cross. Alright? Okay, and again, this basket of wisdom, or this collection of wisdom, is presented a couple different ways in the Bible. This basket or nest of wisdom that is placed on your head can be depicted as a crown, because that's where you store information, your mind. That's true, but God also uses the heart connection, okay? This basket or this stored information is stored on your mind and head, aka the crown, okay? The jewels represent knowledge, but also the heart, alright? And the stones across your heart represents this basket of judgment, and I'll give you the Bible passage to support that, so you know I'm not making things up. So Aaron shall bear the names of the song of Israel in the breastplate of judgment on his heart. Okay, so this is talking about in the Egyptian religion, this basket is represented as a judgment of the heart, and God uses that. Okay, but this collection of wisdom is in your heart. It's about what you hold dear in your heart. God's gonna measure you on that. He's gonna judge you on that. Okay, if you don't measure up, you're gonna get fed to a monster. True. Okay, now this is something else I wanted to bring up. Something else I've noticed is that whenever it brings up this basket, oftentimes there's an angel reference, okay, obviously, because when you get messages from this basket and tell it to other people, you're a messenger, right? You can be a messenger when you get information from the other side. Technically, even psychics can be called messengers, okay? They can be angels, because they claim to giving you wisdom from the other side. They're messengers. They're evil. Okay, they're false prophets, right? Alright? That's why in the ancient world, there's all these constant stories of these people traveling in baskets, because they claim to be messengers from the other side, okay? And there's false ones and real ones. Even in the ancient world, Moses traveled from Mount Sinai and he delivered the 10 Commandments. You can call him a messenger, okay? Yes, I believe the supernatural version of angels exists, but people are messengers too, okay? Alright. But I'm gonna bring up some other things. There's another theme in the ancient world of babies traveling in baskets. Obviously, it would be Moses again when he was a little baby. Okay, he was traveling in a basket. Because there's two things going on here I want to bring up, okay? When you are born, your soul technically probably comes from heaven, okay? You technically travel through the dimensions when you're born, okay? And that's why it's bringing up this baby traveling in baskets. And it's not just in the Bible. Even in the ancient world, some of these very famous heroes traveled in baskets when they're babies, because there's messaging in this. Because when you're born, you travel through the abyss, from the other side, heaven, and you come out of your mother's womb. Okay, so technically you traveled from heaven to earth when you're born, is the message here. Okay, but something even more important that's going on here: when you're born again, when you find God, God reveals Himself to you. You technically might spiritually be traveling to heaven and back to earth again. When you're born again. That's why it's called being born again, because you are a new creature. You've been born into your new life, okay? Your soul might be traveling to heaven and back when you're born again, okay? Yes, okay? But when you die, you're really going to be traveling to the basket, okay? You're going to be born into your new existence. You're either going to be born into hell or you're going to be born into heaven. That's why it's doing all this female talk. And it's talking about storks, okay? Because when you die, you're going to be born again into your new life for real, though. Okay? You're going to be born into heaven or hell. That's why it's bringing up women a lot, alright? And I'll even give you the Bible passage where it refers to hell as a woman, because it's referring to you're going to be born into this place, okay? And like women give birth, okay? That's why it's referring to hell as women. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, which is whore of Babylon stuff. It's the bride of Christ versus the whore of Babylon. You can be born into heaven, okay, or you can be born into hell. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use, and I'm going to use some current information in a minute, even though this movie's kind of old, but I'm going to use some other stuff. You can even add stuff from TV on this, which people have done a little bit, okay? The reason why Dorothy was able to travel into this other world, this other dimension, was because she had that basket in her hand. Alright? Even when she almost left Oz, she traveled in another basket, right? She almost did anyway, right? Okay, and so again, I'm going to point out something else in the Bible I wanted to bring up too with this basket or web. Okay, so this basket can collect people. All right, and it's about representing collecting wisdom and getting wisdom from other people or from God or from the devil. Okay, I wanted to bring up that's why Samson had his hair stuck in a weaver's web. If you read the Bible, Samson, there's so much going on here. First of all, Samson was caught in a weaver's web, but it was made up of his own hair. You can say Delilah did it partially. She got stuck in her web of lies and sexual stuff, alright? But it's also his fault, okay? It's your fault. You can blame the devil and other people, but it's your fault. You decided to get caught in the web of the devil, okay? You can say it like that. That's why Samson's hair got stuck in a web. He got caught in that web. And there was also messaging that he was about to travel in a basket because Samson died the next day, right? He was about to travel in that basket, alright? And it's very interesting because that's the same thing that happened with Absalom. Absalom got his hair stuck in a tree, okay? He was about to travel between heaven and earth, okay? Because he was about to die. He was about to travel in that tree or basket, okay? He was about to go somewhere else, all right? There's also messaging that they are taken to go be judged, okay? There's a debate if you just die and go right to hell or right to heaven, or you get judged first. Fight for your final judgment in between heaven and earth, and then you get sent to hell or heaven. Okay, he got taken to an inner sanctum to go get judged. And I know people are gonna be like, no, that's not what's going on. And I wanted to bring up current information, and people are gonna be like, no, that's just a coincidence. No, I don't think it's a coincidence. First of all, the weaver's web or this basket that people are getting information from can be talking about multiple things. Okay, there's a bad version and a good version. And sometimes it just depends on how you use the information, which I'll prove in a minute. Okay, it's not a coincidence that CERN, they're learning things from CERN, they're reaching into the other dimensions and getting information. And it's not a coincidence that CERN literally looks like a web or a basket. It looks like a weaver's web or a basket. Are they getting information from it? Yes. Are they getting lost in the information and they most likely going to be led to hell with this information? Probably. Okay, probably. I have to bring up the CERN connection again because it literally looks like a web or a basket. Okay. What about satellite dishes? What about satellites and stuff like that? Do they not look like webs or nests or baskets and what do they do? Do they not get information, collect information from outer space? That's true. You can study outer space with satellites, but you also use the internet and the satellite dishes and all that stuff to communicate with each other. You collect information from each other. You're not collecting information from each other and from outer space. Does it not look like a bowl or a basket? Is it God? That's what God's talking about? Of course. And probably the biggest one of all, the most obvious one of all, is the internet. Just a coincidence. I'm like, no, because I honestly don't think God talks about things that don't have anything to do with you right now. Okay, so this traveling basket that you get information from, could it not be talking about the internet? Okay, do you not travel on the web? Do you not go on the web or on the internet to get information? Is that what God's been talking about? Probably. Okay, do you not reach into the internet and get information off the web and share it with everyone else? Is it good or evil? It depends on how you use it, right? It depends on how you use the information. It depends on you, okay? You're the person who gets information. You're the messenger, okay? The internet and even if you're on the internet, you say you're surfing the web, you're traveling in the basket or getting information in the web or the net. It's not a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence anyway. All right, I'm on the basket giving you information right now. You're in the basket. No, I don't think it's a coincidence. You might think it's a coincidence. I don't think so. All right, because God and people don't talk about things that have nothing to do with you. All right. So I really wanted to bring up the internet and the surfing the web connection, because I don't think it's a coincidence, which is probably the most important one for right now anyway. Alright, just like you can reach into the internet and get information about God, you can also reach into the internet and get information on anything else. Okay, alright, anyway, so this traveling basket is very important, and we're doing it right now. It's not just some old ancient information or just some old stuff in the Bible. It has nothing to do with you. You're doing it right now, which is very, 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 very important. Okay, can you gather people from the internet, bring them to the foot of the cross? Yes. Or you can lead them somewhere else. Also, yes. Alright, anyway. So, what do these handbags and baskets represent? They represent a multitude of things. It's a cornucopia of information, and God just uses all of it. You can just use one or two, but that would be a waste of information. God doesn't waste information. Even if it's hard to swallow hard information, you can still use it to expose the devil and expose evil religions. Okay? All fruit is good when we have the Holy Spirit and discernment. Okay? All wisdom can be useful. Okay? That's why Jesus drank that cup in the garden. Okay? The cup of Gethsemane. Okay? Because he drank the whole thing. It was hard to swallow because it's a lot of work studying all this stuff. It's a lot of information to take in, okay, and give to people and use discernment, okay? But there's lots of messaging when Jesus drank that cup, okay? He knows everything. He knows all the bad stuff too. There's a lot of messaging in that. You're gonna have to swallow. You're gonna have to drink that cup, man, okay? And you have to save people and you have to expose the devil at the same time, and it's a lot of work, all right? It's a lot of sacrifice, all right? So please think about this stuff, guys, and thank you.